Long hauls need smart prep. Tap like, hit subscribe, and let's begin.
Question 1. A Louisiana Class B CDL allows operation of combination vehicles over 26,001 pounds GVWR if the towed unit exceeds 10,000 pounds GVWR. True or false? False. In Louisiana, a Class B CDL permits a single vehicle of 26,001 pounds or more GVWR, or such a vehicle towing a unit not exceeding 10,000 pounds GVWR. Question 2. In Louisiana, a tank vehicle endorsement is required if a vehicle transports individual tanks of over 119 gallons each and a total capacity over 1,000 gallons. True or false? True. Louisiana follows the federal standard requiring the N endorsement when aggregate capacity exceeds 1,000 gallons and each tank exceeds 119 gallons. Question 3. Air-over hydraulic brakes are considered full air brakes for Louisiana CDL testing purposes. True or false? False. The Louisiana CDL Manual specifies that air-over hydraulic systems are different. A Z restriction applies if tested on 1, prohibiting full air brake CMVs. Question 4. Louisiana applies ELDT requirements to first-time applicants for Class A or Class B CDLs and certain endorsements like S, P, and H. True or false? True. As of February 2022, entry-level driver training applies to these categories in Louisiana. Question 5. An O restriction on a Louisiana CDL indicates the driver may not operate a tractor-trailer combination connected by a fifth wheel. True or false? True. This restriction applies in Louisiana if tested in a non-fifth wheel combination vehicle. Question 6. A Louisiana CLP holder with a passenger endorsement can transport paying passengers if accompanied by a CDL holder. True or false? False. Louisiana prohibits CLP holders with P or S endorsements from transporting passengers except authorized individuals like examiners or auditors. Question 7. Hydraulic brakes require the Louisiana driver to check for leaks by applying pressure to the pedal and holding it for 5 seconds. True or false? True. The Louisiana Manual specifies this to detect pedal movement indicating a leak. Question 8. In a Louisiana leak-down test for air brakes, single vehicles should not lose more than 3 psi in 1 minute. True or false? True. Combination vehicles may lose up to 4 psi per minute under Louisiana testing standards. Question 9. In Louisiana, a driver disqualified for a major offense like DUI in a CMV is disqualified for a minimum of 1 year for a first offense. True or false? True. This is in accordance with Louisiana CDL disqualification rules, with 3 years if transporting hazardous materials. Question 10. Hazardous materials placards are required in Louisiana for all quantities of materials listed as select agents or toxins under 42 CFR Part 73. True or false? True. Louisiana enforces placarding for any amount of these substances. Question 11. Combination vehicle coupling inspections in Louisiana must verify that the locking jaws are fully closed around the shank of the kingpin. True or false? False. The Louisiana Manual specifies they must be around the shank, not the head of the kingpin. Question 12. Triple trailers are permitted in Louisiana if the driver holds a T endorsement. True or false? False. Louisiana does not allow triple trailers regardless of endorsement. Question 13. The Louisiana Class C CDL includes small passenger vehicles under 26,001 pounds GVW are designed for 16 or more passengers. True or false? True. Passenger count includes the driver. Question 14. Before starting a trip in Louisiana, cargo must be inspected and adjusted as necessary within the first 50 miles. True or false? True. Louisiana follows the federal inspection schedule with further checks after 3 hours, 150 miles, or duty status changes. Question 15. Louisiana school bus drivers must stop at all railroad crossings unless directed otherwise by a police officer or traffic control signal. True or false? True. The Louisiana CDL Manual notes exceptions only for specific exempt crossings. Question 16. A low air warning device must activate in Louisiana when air pressure drops below 60 psi. True or false? True. This is required for CDL vehicles operating in Louisiana. Question 17. An intrastate-only K restriction on a Louisiana CDL allows operation of CMVs in any state. True or false? False. It limits CMV operation to within Louisiana. Question 18. If hazardous material leaks are detected during transit in Louisiana, the driver must stop and phone the shipper before contacting emergency responders. True or false? False. Louisiana law requires contacting emergency services immediately in the event of a dangerous leak. Question 19. Tank surge is less dangerous in Louisiana when tanks are less than 1/3 or more than 2/3 full. True or false? False. Louisiana training notes that surge is most stable when tanks are full. Partial loads create greater movement. Question 20. When backing with a trailer in Louisiana, turning the steering wheel to the left moves the trailer to the left. True or false? False. Trailer movement is opposite to steering input when backing. Question 21. The no zone in Louisiana refers to areas around a truck where crashes are most likely to occur. True or false? True. Louisiana CDL training emphasizes blind spots to the front, sides, and rear. Question 22. If an anti-lock braking system ABS fails, Louisiana drivers should not operate the vehicle until it is repaired. True or false? False. The Louisiana Manual notes ABS failure does not disable normal brakes. The vehicle can be driven but should be repaired soon. Question 23. A Louisiana driver can use a radar detector in a CMV if traveling intrastate. True or false? False. Louisiana enforces the federal prohibition on radar detectors in CMVs. Question 24. Combination vehicles in Louisiana require more space to turn than straight trucks. True or false? True. This is due to off-tracking noted in the Louisiana CDL Manual. Question 25. Liquid tankers should always be driven in Louisiana with sudden acceleration to minimize slush. True or false? False. Louisiana emphasizes smooth acceleration and braking to control surge. Question 26. The minimum tread depth for a steer tire in Louisiana is 4/32 inch. True or false? True. Other tires require at least 2/32 inch. Question 27. Buses in Louisiana are never required to have a fire extinguisher on board. True or false? False. The Louisiana CDL Manual requires fire extinguishers as standard equipment. Question 28. Louisiana CMV drivers must maintain a minimum following distance of 1 second for each 10 feet of vehicle length at speeds under 40 miles per hour. True or false? True. Louisiana uses the federal rule, adding 1 second for speeds over 40 miles per hour. Question 29. When coupling a trailer in Louisiana, the tractor should be positioned so the trailer kingpin is directly above the fifth wheel slot before backing. True or false? False. Louisiana training says it should be slightly in front of the slot for a proper connection. Question 30. Louisiana school buses must have mirrors adjusted to see all danger zones, including a direct view of the rear tires where they touch the ground. True or false? True. This is specified in Louisiana's school bus section. Question 31. The proper method for checking hydraulic brake fluid in Louisiana is to pump the brake pedal 3 times and hold. True or false? False. Louisiana specifies checking fluid at the reservoir. Pumping is for leak testing. Question 32. Louisiana drivers hauling placarded hazmat loads must stop within 15 to 50 feet of a railroad crossing. True or false? True. Louisiana enforces this federal safety requirement. Question 33. The loss of power steering on a CMV in Louisiana means the driver should stop immediately on the roadway. True or false? False. Louisiana instructs drivers to steer to a safe location. Manual steering remains possible. Question 34. A converter dolly is used in Louisiana to couple a second trailer to the rear of a first trailer. True or false? True. Louisiana's double section describes this equipment. Question 35. You must test parking brakes in Louisiana by setting them and gently pulling forward against them. True or false? True. This is part of Louisiana's pre-trip inspection routine. Question 36. Louisiana allows texting while driving a CMV if using hands-free voice to text. True or false? True. Manual texting is prohibited. Hands-free operation is permitted. Question 37. Spring brakes are held back by mechanical force until air pressure is applied in Louisiana. True or false? False. Louisiana notes they are held back by air pressure. Loss of air engages them. Question 38. When driving downhill in Louisiana, it's best to use the same gear you would use climbing the same grade. True or false? True. Louisiana recommends this to maintain control. Question 39. AP endorsement in Louisiana allows operation of a bus with seating for 15 passengers, including the driver. True or false? False. Louisiana sets the threshold at 16 passengers, including the driver. Question 40. Louisiana drivers must check cargo securement devices within the first 50 miles and at least every 150 miles thereafter. True or false? True. Louisiana enforces this cargo inspection interval. Question 41. If an air compressor belt is frayed but tight, Louisiana drivers can continue driving indefinitely. True or false? False. Louisiana requires belts be free from cracks or frays. Question 42. On combination vehicles in Louisiana, the trailer hand valve is used for parking. True or false? False. Louisiana specifies it is only for testing trailer brakes. Question 43. When approaching a drawbridge with a stop signal in Louisiana, a CMV must stop at least 50 feet before the draw. True or false? True. This is consistent with Louisiana's CDL rules. Question 44. Tires with tread separation are permissible in Louisiana if the vehicle is under 10,000 pounds GVWR. True or false? False. Louisiana prohibits any tire with tread separation. Question 45. Alcohol is permitted in the cab in Louisiana if it is part of the cargo and unopened. True or false? True. This is allowed if sealed and properly documented. Question 46. The driver is responsible in Louisiana for knowing if cargo is properly secured, even if not loaded by them. True or false? True. Louisiana CDL law places responsibility on the driver. Question 47. ABS always shortens stopping distance in Louisiana CMVs. True or false? False. Louisiana notes ABS prevents will lock up but may not reduce stopping distance. Question 48. Hazardous material shipping papers in Louisiana must be within immediate reach when the driver is seated. True or false? True. Louisiana adopts this federal accessibility rule. Question 49. A Louisiana CDL holder may use a cell phone by holding it in one hand while driving as long as eyes stay on the road. True or false? False. Louisiana requires hands-free use only. Question 50. An emergency equipment check in Louisiana must include spare fuses, 3 warning devices, and a properly charged fire extinguisher. True or false? True. This is specified in the Louisiana CDL Manual.
Getting there! Hit play on the next video or snag the cheat sheet to cover every angle.